see you shaking your head there, Simon.
Well, I don't know how he has the audacity to comment on the fact that Arteta moans and groans about things when all of them do the same thing.
You think that's arrogant, what you just said there?
I think no one asked for... context of the question will be prevalent to the answer that was given, but I don't think Mikel Arteta was asking for advice on his coaching from Antonio Conte. And maybe Antonio Conte can take some advice on how to act as a mature individual when things aren't going his way, because we had a temperamental hissy fit about 2 or 3 months ago about how I don't know if I'm good enough. I forgot, that's my French version of Italian. But the bottom line is I really don't know why Antonio Conte needs to dispense his particular brand of wisdom to Mikel Arteta. I'm sure it's because there was a leading question, but notwithstanding it, you don't have to answer the question by being slightly condescending and patronising about the nature of the person's experience in the profession. That is a talk down.
He also told us,
saying, listen, young fella.
Yeah, he is.
Okay.
Yeah, you're new to this.
You're new to this. I've forgotten more than you'll ever know.
Yeah. I think it was patronising, Mark, when you hear that back. I mean, he's suggesting you're the new kid in the block. I've been around quite a while.
He defends his club. I think he's the best thing that's happened to Spurs for years.
Yeah.
I really do. I think this coach knows his stuff inside out. He's up and down on that touchline. He's quite aggressive. He's emotional. Of course he is. He defends his club to the hilt. He even told us in the transfer window that these 2 new signings had actually weakened his position. Not a bit of it. They've really strengthened it. And that's the fear, is that if he's allowed, 2 or 3 more transfer windows, he's going to do well because he gets the right players in. If you just look at what the 2 that have come in have done for that team and how much stronger they are and how everybody knows their roles, responsibility. During the first 20 minutes, you put it away saying Arsenal bottled it. I mean, you love this sensationalism with these words that you pick out. Now, I thought the first 20 minutes, Arsenal actually played quite well in the game. I thought they kind of rode the storm, but then they gifted the game to Spurs. Gifted it. Okay, I do believe
they struggled with the occasion, didn't they?
And of course, then with holding the contact. If you're going to be a player that goes into contact, and I was one of those, you've got to have the skill set to be able to do that. You've got to have pace. And that was the thing that he doesn't have holding. And it was really, okay, I don't think Son is a saint in any of this. I'm not even sure, is he going to score that ball when it comes into the header? We're just looking at a replay at it now again. It was soft, Jim. I'm not going to back down from that. But nonetheless, each player could have done something a bit better in that situation. Does Cedric really need to shove him in the way he did? He was a bit more disguised there. And Holding lost his man in the box.
It's all too late now, though, isn't it? I mean, do you regret, Mr. Keown, saying this week that you wouldn't take any Spurs players in your Arsenal side?
That was me standing up for an Arsenal team, going into full cry in a battle in White Hart Lane. Let's get it on, and I'm backing my players. I don't want players to see.
So you were standing up for Arsenal.
Of course, I was standing up.
But you didn't really mean it.
I think everybody knows the quality of Son and Kane and Kulusevski, who's now come in. He's come from Juventus.
So would you have those in your Arsenal side then?
I think I'd like. No, I don't think of all 3. I wouldn't have all 3 of them.
But would you have any of them?
I'd have 2 of them. Yes.
So why would you write an article saying you'd have none of them?
Because I'm going into an article.
But that's not an article. That's an advertorial. What you're doing is bias. We've got people that listen to.
I'm standing up for my. This is the biggest game of in living memory between these 2 teams.
I would have thought your job was to write an educated article.
Sometimes we can be mischievous. Which Jim's not the only one who can be mischievous and a little bit sensational.
Don't turn it back at me. What you said in the Daily Mail, then you didn't really mean.
No, I did mean it. I'm going into battle and I'll support the players that are in the Arsenal team.
But now you've changed your tune post-match.
But we all know that the quality...
You would have a Spurs player in your Arsenal side.
In fact, you'd have 2 of them. I don't like being asked to swap players. A consummate 11 doesn't... I don't like it. I don't particularly like it. It was a question that was presented to me.
So hang on a second.
I don't write the questions. So I just give the answers.
Pre-match, your line is you wouldn't have any Spurs players in your Arsenal side. Post-match, you actually would.
No, Jim, I'm just saying the context of which I was asked the question was
to be a cheerleader.
We're 24 hours before the game. Okay, look, let's go to battle with what we've got. And Nketiah's been magnificent, a revelation since he's coming to the team. We've got Saka on one side, Martinelli. They're the future. I'm not going to suddenly swap them out and they read that and think, oh, well, look,
But they're not listening to you. They're not. With the greatest respect in the world, you're not their coach, you're not their manager.
Well, then it doesn't matter, then, does it?
Then why wouldn't you have the courage of your convictions?
Because I believe in what Arsenal are trying to do and trying to achieve.
No, but you didn't believe.
I'm an Arsenal man against a Tottenham man.
But you didn't believe what you said. You didn't believe.
I always believe what I say.
Then you're deluded.
I believe it was right. I believe it was right to say what I said at the moment, 24 hours before the game was about to be played.
Was the context of the article, just so we have this moment to share, was the context of the article for Martin Keown to be a cheerleader?
Have you tried to ridicule? Am I on here so you can ridicule me?
No, I mean, you're here to...
Is that what you're trying to do?
No, you do that regularly enough for yourself. You don't need my help with that.
I'm explaining what my role is within the newspaper.
And we're trying to
I got asked a question I didn't really want to
We-
answer.
we-
I didn't want
well,
to
then
dot.
don't
I didn't
answer it.
really want to dot the Arsenal team with all these changes for Tottenham going in just
do you
24 hours.
believe-
So I said, no, I fully believe in the Arsenal team. Let's go and do it. Now, when we looked at in the calm of day, of course they're better players. But I'm still going to support my team before we go into the game.
If you write an article in a newspaper, right, first of all, being critiqued is not the same as being ridiculed, right? Because you're not beyond critique. You wrote an article as an influential character who people listen to and want to take some stock from. So if I'm reading an article written by Martin Keown, and I'm going to pay it due respect, if I read an article that clearly isn't objective, clearly isn't pragmatic, and is a cheerleading article, I'm going to lose respect for the content.
But I knew what I was doing.
I knew.
Yeah, but no.
Then you're a cheerleader.
No,
you're not an
but you're
article
now
writer.
trying to undermine me. Look. I
No,
knew
you're undermining
the
yourself.
gravity of what I was saying, and I wanted to say it because I wanted to be 100% behind my own team. There you are, okay? That's why I said it.
But it's not an honest article, is it?
It's me wanting Arsenal to win against Spurs.
But I understand that. But go back to the point I'm trying to make.
And what would most people have said? Oh yeah, of course.
Well, I'd have been objective.
Son probably should be in
if I was
that
writing
team.
an article about Crystal Palace,
No, you wouldn't.
Well, of course I bloody would, and I've done it, and I can prove I've done it. The bottom line is I would have been objective and honest because people respect objectivity and honesty. They don't respect
Did it
bias.
as an Arsenal man going to battle against Tottenham?
Yes, but you were asked a
and they
specific
lost.
question.
And
Yes,
now you're saying
yes.
post-match, you'd have a couple of the Spurs players in
No,
the
So
no,
where
no,
do
no,
Arsenal
no.
stand
You're
then?
saying that. You're
You
saying.
just said
yeah,
to
but Jim.
us.
Okay. Look, can you take it in the context that it was said? We're going into battle, the biggest game in living memory, and I want to support those Arsenal players. Okay.
No, pre-match, when you did your column, you had your Arsenal hat on.
Yeah.
Post-match, sitting here with Simon and myself, the hat's come off.
Yeah, but and what was I saying 10 weeks ago? So when Arsenal beat Aston Villa, what did I say? Spurs will make it into the Champions League.
You did.
Yes, many weeks ago. But just before battle, I've got to support my team, Jim.
Okay.
I've got to, and that's all I did.
Which is your prerogative.
If I'm guilty of that, then call me guilty.
We'll never do that. We'll never do that.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.